What up? What up? What up? What up? You already know what it is. You have just entered the war zone. Now, what is going on with these tethers, y'all? These tethers are all around invading, invading our privacy, attempting to rewrite history on us, attempting to block us out of stores, block us out of neighborhoods, attempting to redline us politically, attempting to block our reparations in each state. It is put on a political table. We are being insulted all over online, all over social media from these Africans. We are being insulted, y'all. Insulted. My people actually fought for these people to get over here, fought for these people to have a good way of living, fought for these people to have humanitarian rights in their nations. We fought for that. We fought for that. We fought. We had telecom or telephone. What they call it? Teleprompters or not a teleprompter. Telethons. We ran many telethons for the Africans. Okay, my father himself even has adopted an African child who he has never met, right? All he does is pay X amount of money every month to this child. Okay, we have done this, but now these people are over here attempting to truly violate us, truly attempting to make us feel uncomfortable in our own state, make us feel uncomfortable in our own skin, attempt to always say that we are following the W man when we are constantly battling the W man. We are the supreme leaders when it comes to the melanated people. We are the leaders of the melanated people. This is clearly evident nowadays, people. Everybody is attempting to jump ship, flee their nation, and come over here, get a few pennies, and think that they are over the FBA nation of America. Who created America? Now, I want to dip into a few of our brothers who are storming through, letting us know what is actually going on each and every day with these tethers. I want to tap in with Black Alpha Network, so tap into the shout out to the Black Alpha Network. Let's roll.
Anything over. That's what we call over here a damn checkmate.
That is actually a long story, which I want to go into as well. Then you had South Africa, which the apartheid system started in 1940s, way before, like big main civil rights movements in America. In the UK, there was the British Black Panthers, and then there was Notting Hill riots, which was about, racism as well, as there is a lot of racism inside, UK, but it is hidden. Then you had in India, people were rebelling against the caste system, and it's called the Dalit movement.
In India? Do you know how anti-black they are in India? Family, this is why there is no diaspora that FBA is a part of. Hey, we coming in hot today. Smash that like button. I got something to say. This is why we don't rock with these people. Do you see how this Jamaican lady is quick to use India to elevate above us and to cut us down? Do you see where their allegiance lies, family? Do you know how anti-black they are in India? Nobody on the planet, Miss Fufu, is thinking about India and civil rights. Nobody's thinking about black empowerment in India. They will use anybody to go against FBA. You hear these people bring up the dominant society. How come you guys can't be more like the white man? You hear them use India. You should be more like Mr. Muhammad. He's a good man. They'll use Africa. They'll use Jamaica. They'll use Haiti. They'll use a goddamn dog if it means cutting down FBA. And it also means they ain't got nothing to stand
Okay, so India is a it's so funny. See, propaganda is so powerful, right? Because you view East Indians as a peaceful, loving people who cares for people, right? Remember, do not be fooled. A lot of the East Indians that you see that are over here right now are working class from East India. Okay, so they are people that are going to come over here and attempt to be as nice as they can. Why? To get your green dollars. That's why. They don't live in your neighborhoods, right? They don't come shopping in your neighborhoods, right? They don't. They shop in white neighborhoods. They live in white neighborhoods. They come and do business in your neighborhoods. That's about it, right? But check this out. See, I'm so glad that I am so adept to what's going on politically, and that intertwines with what's going on over here politically when it comes to our FBA nation, okay, and what the white supremacy is doing out here in America, okay. Now, India is going through war right now, people. They are fighting their own people right now. Okay, why is India broke off with Pakistan? Okay, that's one big pile of landmass. That's one big landmass. Okay, Pakistan and India. Pakistan created itself, broke off from India, which that is really India, but they broke off. And hear this out. I've had a Bangladesh tell me that the Pakistanis are bad people, that they are mean people, that they're not peaceful people. So he painted the picture as if the Bangladesh the East Indians are the more peaceful people, the more encompassed people out in that particular territory, right? But I don't see the East Indians standing up for, let's say, Hamas that's going up against Israel, right? I don't see East Indians standing up. I see Pakistan saying something about it. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm getting at is Pakistan and the Indians, East Indians, and Bangladesh, India. That Pakistan is India, but they are warring against each other. Not only that, inside of East India, they are warring against each other. Like a civil war is brewing right now. Don't let this propaganda fool you. Let's roll.
On. You know what it is. These people are anti-us, and that's why we don't rock with them. Damn your diaspora, damn the tethers, damn you want to be connected. Only thing you need to do is connect some clippers and get to working on top of that damn head. Easy.
Movement, and this is from the 1920s onwards. In the UK, in 1919, there was also revolt or like race riot against racial discrimination due to Caribbean soldiers what they faced. You had in Senegal, they resisted French colonialism, like Blaise Diagne. Sorry, man, I'm saying the name wrong. He fought for African rights before World War II. The author of Black Skin, White Mask was.
He fought for African rights. Oh gosh, family, that's such a great movement. Woo! She put so much detail in that. They don't say nothing. This is tether babble. He one day on Wednesday, I think it might have been Thursday, and I'm not sure what his name is, but he fought for African rights, and it was at one time around the corner. What the hell does that mean? You ain't got no specifics because you ain't got no truth. Easy. And by the way, did she say the Black Panther Party in the UK, which was completely inspired by the Black Panther Party in the United States of America? So I thought she said that we were inspired by the rest of the world, but she's giving me examples of them being inspired by us. Easy. And by the way, the Black Panther Party in 19...
This is actually a good thing that's going on because we are now getting the chance to understand that these people have been extremely anti-Black. And not only that, these people don't know their own history and they don't know what has going on, what has transpired regarding the FBA nation to help lift their nation out of the dungeon, lift their nations out of the ball and chain era. This is the FBA nation. We have the lead when it comes to showing these people how to get the job done and move their particular narrative forward, even though it's a minority narrative. We are the ones who showed that. Let's rock and roll.
1966, Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton, Oakland, California. That was the third Black Panther Party here in the United States of America, because you also have the first Black Panther Party, which was a battalion that fought in the U.S. military. And then you have also the second foundational Black American Black Panther Party that was in the dirty South. Okay, so ain't nobody telling me nothing about no damn UK. Hell no. And you ain't telling me nothing.
Hold on.
Because you ain't got nothing to stand on. And you need to pull that shirt up.
From Martinique, and he also was with like Algeria, and he also campaigned for
Because I want y'all to hear some of
now, there is so many
these people.
over.
Hold on.
Americans need to work harder. We was no good. We need to appreciate America. See, walking on a plantation in America. Black Alpha, #1 activist. I goddamn right said it, and I goddamn right mean it.
FBA would want you to believe that they can trace their ancestry back to slavery in America. Human beings in general like to be associated with greatness. All that Africa did was sold people into slavery. Now, who would want to be associated with that? Now, America, no, that's a great country. That makes us great just by association. No, am I saying that Black people weren't the first set of persons in America? No, I'm most definitely not saying that. Am I saying that individual identity isn't important? No, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying that is that stripping us of our identity along with religion was slavery's biggest act.
No, hell no. And notice, fam, at the end, they always do a backtrack. Y'all notice that, right? Am I saying this? Am I saying that? Yeah, we heard what the hell you was just saying, and what you was just saying don't add up. Family, this is the vitriol, the spite, the jealousy, and the envy that they have for foundational Black Americans. That's just a few tethers, okay? Now you got the Jamaicans trying to weasel their way in because they seen exactly what foundational Black Americans been checking for everybody else. This is why we as FBA stand over here independently, because there's no respect. There will never be respect. It is in these people's DNA to disrespect foundational Black Americans. That's just what it is. Basically, they live in the game of disrespect FBA and don't get caught.
It's totally amazing how these people are brought up, and somehow when they see a FBA, it's like, oh no, don't talk to those people. You know what I'm saying? But it's like their girlfriends, you know what I mean, want to slip and flirt with us and things like that. It's crazy. They want to sneak and do things. It's crazy how it is, you know. But their men want to jack our style. Their men want to look like us, talk like us. You know what I'm saying? Do our approach when it comes to politics. You know, they you know, it's crazy. And the thing is, the disrespect is so blasphemous because, I mean, most I would think that a lot of these people know, and now I'm really coming to find out a lot of these people do not know. Listen, dog, we are the reason why your first generation ancestors were able and allowed to come over here into America. Okay, we are the reason. We do not need you anchor babies rising up now attempting to revolt when it comes to getting after you know, when it comes to the Black man and woman here in America finally get into their bag, get into the reparations bag. And here it is, you are now, you the whole time, decades on out, we were not hearing any of this rhetoric coming from you people, because if the FBA nation did hear this rhetoric, we would have definitely nipped this in the bud a long time ago. We would not have waited to the point where we got to the reparations talk, and it's actually tangible when they are making and building consensus to find out who and what deserves these reparations. Here it is, you have these tethers jumping up and attempting to revolt from the whole minority construct and atmosphere in which we have built, as far as attempting to move and get out of this bubble that we all have been living in our ancestors. Okay, so this is blasphemy. Okay, this is just outright outlandish, and I'm glad that the conversation is had right now, because it needs to be had. Okay, it needs to be had.
With no teeth, who own the beach, who can't speak? No, because these people do not have anything of ownership, but yet you want to talk about what you control.
Songs that you copy, from the lingo that you copy, from the dances that you copy, fling your shoulder, baby, that's Jamaican. Yeah, don't let Leo fool you.
Yo, you know one thing that I am really starting to understand about these people? Really, I remember I had a black and Puerto Rican girlfriend. No, seriously. A lot of these people are really kind of really somewhat delirious, okay? Somewhat delusional, excuse me. They are somewhat delusional. I mean, I don't understand where they get this babble. We stole a part of your dance? Where? We don't do that. We don't even be thinking about y'all, bro. I mean, it's no disrespect. We don't be thinking about your culture. We don't. The only way we think about your culture is if somebody brought an idea up from your culture, like, hey, I think this would be a good idea, this, that, and the third. It's a business move. Then our people would jump on it. Other than that, we don't get down like that. We don't get down like that. We don't copy anything. We have created everything. You didn't even have music. You didn't even have music. You didn't, Jamaicans, you didn't have music. Your own forefathers already clarified that. You did not have music. You learned from black Americans. That's what your forefathers learned their so-called reggae music from. That reggae music is Motown music. Hello? You don't have any music. You didn't create any music. You didn't create any rhythms. Let's go.
You baby, that's
Boy, she thinks she eating right now. Y'all want to know who really goes over there and mimics Jamaican culture? That's called the Europeaner. Yeah, because they come on over there and they put on fake dreadlocks and y'all love them. They come on over there and they put on all the Jamaican clothes and y'all love them. They drink your drinks. They go to your resorts and you love them. But you ain't got no smoke for them. I tell everybody, the colonizer has never invaded. He's been invited, and they invite those people. Same way she's basically saying they influence the world. It's not influence, homegirl. What it's called is them taking your stuff. And apparently you like it like that.
Jamaican. Stir fry. That's Jamaican. It was a Jamaican man named Robert Rashford that invented the single space capsule to be able to go into space as a single person. A Jamaican invented that. Jamaicans brought you dance hall, reggae, and everything else in my blood clot tween. And I'm so happy to be Jamaican. I wouldn't want to be anything else. But you see my tropical rhythm in the back? Yeah, Jamaican, I'm proud of it. As a Jamaican, your identity is always trying to be taken away from you, especially when you say,
This is the thing. Really? I mean, since you want to attack my FBA nation, Jamaicans, you really don't even have a nation. Like your nation is Africans. You are Africans. You are enslaved Africans that was brought over to a certain part of that territory and landmass, and you were called. They called you. You called yourself Jamaicans, or from Jamaica, from the land of Jamaica. Okay, your dreadlocks are not something from you. Your dreadlocks come from Halas. Excuse me. I'm getting tongue twisted tonight. From Haile Selassie. Excuse me. I'm botching his name. I don't know, but you know what you have learned from an African king. Okay. All right. You serve Ethiopia. Okay. You don't have what are you talking about? Jamaican. No, that's crazy to me. That's nuts to me. You don't have a real nation. If you really want to get technical, we know who we are. We really do. We have attempted to be tricked by our government, along with Jesse Jackson and them, right? Calling us African Americans. And that just came on. That name just came on us. Malcolm X already clarified that with the W media. And he was asked, do you want to be called African American? You don't like, no, we don't like being called. No, that's disrespectful. That's what Malcolm said. No, we don't. Okay. He said, well, what do you rather be called? Call us black. That's what Malcolm said. That's why out of nowhere we started just saying black, not African, black. Okay. Jesse Jackson was pushing that African American on us, y'all. We know who we are. We know we are the real Indians of this land. We know that. We know that. We've been here for eons. We've been here since before the first Constitution. There has been numerous constitutions, numerous. There was 14 presidents before George Washington. There were black presidents. We controlled this nation. This was our nation, dog. This was our nation, lady. Period.
I'm Jamaican and proud. There's always someone in the back.
You don't
that's
even
from
have
Africa.
music.
We know
man.
that, but we are still Jamaican and we're proud to be Jamaican. That's just that. Stop with the ignorance. Thank
No,
you. I got
shorty.
my good ginger beer in the back.
Shorty, how about you say you are proud to be African? You're proud to serve Halassi Sai is Halassi Sai goodness gracious, the African king. The African king, you are served from Ethiopia. You learned from him. Point blank, period. You serve him now. Okay. The whole Rastafari serves Halassi Sai, the African king. And I can't get his name out right now. What's up, Layla? What's going on, girl? Know what I'm saying? You know, we got to put all of these tethers in their place, Layla, all over the world. These broadcasts are being broadcast all over the world, and we need to let them know you didn't create a thing, nothing. You didn't even have music. You didn't even have music in the 1930s. You didn't even have reggae music in the 1930s. You didn't have music in the 20s at all. Stop it. Your forefathers, who were refugees, who came over here, said that one or two of them came over here and went into the FBA parties and learned from us and was so exhilarated and was in so much awe. Like, how in the world are these people doing this? And you're doing it right in the faces of white America. How are they doing this? How are these people so joyous like that, dancing like that, coming up with their own style, dressing like that? How are they? Why are they not dressing like rags? Why women don't look like ragtags? We've been classy. We've been classy people. You are late. You are coming over now trying to be classy, nigga. We've been doing that, nigga. My nation we are class, my nation. What you see right now is a lot of work from the CIA who have been working on my people due to COINTELPRO. These are facts, and these are documented facts. Freedom of information facts, for sure. These are not just me speaking out of my mouth. These are facts and documented. Come on, man.
Sure you're eating good today. Make sure you get your fried chicken, your oxtail, your chicken foot, your callaloo, your ackee and saltfish. whatever your sweet potato, your dumpling, your yam, whatever you're eating today, make sure you eat it good. I hope it fills your belly nice. God bless us Jamaicans. God bless you. God bless your family. Mwah. I love to be Jamaican, and I'm just so happy to be alive. My birthday's in 3 days. This is a
And I don't give a damn. Listen, family, this is what we're talking about. Everybody check that out right there. Nobody's making no videos upset at that.
FBA,
I ain't seen one person come out and say,
That's
hey,
FBA.
that's mean, you being divisive. That's
FBA right
xenophobic. That right there is far more xenophobic than anybody over here on our side. Because remember, FBA, we don't claim to be a part of none of that. So whatever we do, we independent. You ain't got to come over here and worry about what foundational Black Americans are doing, because foundational Black Americans are doing just great. We're doing better than you. See, we own what we own. We create what we create, and it all stays here. Gatekeeping, delineation, separation has done numbers on these people. They just whooped up right now. And now you got a lot of these people coming out and they just taking turns. And FBA guaranteeing it, fam. We putting it all on the line that you can't come around this lineage, this heritage,
Yo, Black Alpha,
and this culture
Black Alpha,
talking
man.
that nonsense, because you will be checked fully in the process. The process.
Black Alpha, why are these people so mad at us? Why are they mad? Because we said we want to delineate. Why is it back in the 80s they were claiming that, oh, you know, you don't, you know, you're not African, you know, you're not African, you know, you're like these people, you're not African, and you know, this, that, and the third. And okay, so we're like, okay, since we found out, since my nation is widely finding out how you people are giving it up and what your energy is like, we like, hey, listen, we're all going to delineate. What's up, y'all? And we all like, yeah, let's do that. This makes sense. Even the church, I'm telling you, once our elderly church people said, yeah, that's a good idea, y'all done, bro. Y'all done. See, white America knows who really controls Black America, and it is the churches. Even though we don't like what they have been doing lately, because we understand that they have been tricked by our government through the 501c3, and that's just a whole nother live stream, right? But my people are waking up. The congregation, the church congregation is waking up. They seeing it now. They feeling it. They feeling all of the Africans around them now. They feeling this. They're like, nah, this is overwhelming. They're seeing all you. I don't give a damn what job you got right now. Right now, you can't tell me you don't have an immigrant on your job right now. I don't care what job you have. You have an immigrant on your job working for your corporation right now. This is what is going on. Trump, a few days ago, just made it law that you have to speak English to work in our country. Everything is English. All of the prompts on the phone must be English. No more of that. Press number 2 for Spanish. Press number 3 for Asian. Press number 4 for Korean. No more of that. Trump said, if you don't speak English, get out of my country. Come on, you can't. Trump said, if you don't speak English, get out of my country. I'm not saying that. Trump said that. President Trump said that. We rocking with that. The FBA Nation, we with that. You don't speak English, get out of here. Like Trump said, you're fired. No, we're like, get out of here right now. Right now, that's the time we on right now. It's war right now. We're not about, and what if it kicks up, people? What if the war kicks up with Donald Trump, right? And the opposition, and the opposition wants to push the button to incite an insurrection right here on our grounds and our territory. We don't know who the damn enemy and the targets are. We don't know who the targets are. Targets out here looking like us, dressing like us, talking like us. We don't know who the targets are. If there was a war to kick off right now inside the country, you don't have to like Donald Trump. But if he decides, or the opposition decides to actually go to war, because Donald Trump already decided to go to war with them. But if they decide to push back, and which they have, we already seen somebody, one of these tethers, go up into a state building and shoot up politicians. We have never done, bruh, FBAs don't do that. We're like, you know what, freak your politics, right? We don't even be concerning ourselves with politics. unless when some of the boule come around our community and want to get us to vote. And like yesterday's stream, I was telling you about those frequent voters who always go and vote. Those frequent voters, that's what it's counted on by these politicians. Okay, let's go.
Process right now, and the game that we on is keeping everything amongst ourselves. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. All disrespect getting checked. That's just how it is. And when you think about what we've been doing as a lineage, as a heritage, and us getting to the bag, there's always a translation involved.
Check this out. Let's check this out. Because they, this got to stop. And I'm loving that all of my people are really jumping on it for real and serious. They're serious about it. And we have to be. Damn, we have to be. We have to be serious about this. I'm gonna throw my brother on here. What's going on, good brother? That's good brother Dennis right there. That's Uncle D. Uncle D was good. Uncle D, tell me what's going on, Uncle D.
And struck the first blow at a local store. They unalived the shopkeeper and took all his weapons and all his ammunition. In some kind of way, they got some drums and they start rallying and they start marching towards a Spanish Florida. Right, here we go, Florida again, where the Spanish crown had promised freedom to the enslaved Africans who reached their territory and converted to Catholicism. See, the Spanish were not only interested in moral claims of liberty, they sought to determine undermine the British colonies by draining them of their labor force. See, white folk in Europe have been fighting each other.
You're not going to believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative of the quarter. I did everything right.
For literally thousands of years. And the Spanish and the English have never been friends for any long period of time. They were fighting it out. And so, here you are, you trying to get your neighbors slaves to riot and come on down there with you. Now, so basically they say, yeah, come on down. You be free down here. Because the Spanish, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later, they unified on religion. You see, not so much color, but religion. Because remember, they just got rid of the Moors. The Moors had occupied Spain for some 800 years, you see. And so they were like, yeah, come on down. So the brothers was down there. They were marching. They were shouting liberty, liberty. The numbers went from a couple dozen to 80 men. And along the way, they burned plantations. They unalived between 20 to 25 of these British colonists, men, women, and children. Can you imagine that? The only people they spared and who showed mercy were the ones who had a reputation for treating fair. So it wasn't just about white. They wasn't just hurting innocent white folk, the ones who were kind and fair. Hey, they let them go. And it was terrifying to these white people. Shout out to my beautiful sister, the Crimson Cure. Shout out to Urban Eagle. Okay? It's scared. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Crimson Cure. Y'all, she's always over there giving that good knowledge over there, setting them straight. You see? But here's what I need you to understand. This scared the Jesus out of these white folk. This is the environment that they were living in. You see, but of course, this was met with brutal resistance. So by the afternoon, the colonial militia had mobilized. Okay, they called 911. Okay, and a fight took place, and some of the rebels were unalived outright. They got killed off rip, and the others, some were captured, some were executed publicly to try to warn, to deter, and the rest of them scattered in the swamp and headed. And, they were headed down the following weeks and months. And so, and some of them may have escaped to Florida. But again, Florida was a problem. Somebody typed Florida problem in the chat room. Mm-hmm. And it was in the aftermath of this that South
Carolina. And this is the thing, you have these people attempting to jump our people every chance they get. None of their videos go viral. But as soon as we retaliate, in a big way, here is, the media rushing to deter, right? Like then Uncle D just said, right? You know, these people are rushing to deter. So I just seen a video today on Instagram, and hopefully it's going viral, right? And you have, I want to say 15, 15 white boy teens jumping one black FBA, and they are using the N word, going crazy, right? And this was posted today, right? So I don't see any outcry, any media outlash for them, you know. So we know that the media is clearly biased. We grew up knowing that. We already know that. This is old news to us, and we understand that these people are constantly are going to attempt to so-called get after us in the name of deterrence. Let's go. Let's cook.
Carolina passed the Negro Act of 1740. It was a harsh set of laws that restricted black people's movement, education. We don't want you gathering together. You can't teach them how to read. We don't want you assembling. We don't want them earning money. Because remember, Jimmy was an educated man. He had been educated in the Congo. He could read. He's an educated man. He spoke Portuguese. And so they realized this education with the right mentality. My God, these people can overthrow what we got. This is 20 men. You understand? But see, again, we're talking about.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it.
Everything.
Meet Base 44.
Unbelievable.
A complete AI.
What climate is this creating for these white folk who know they're doing wrong, right? See, the Stono Rebellion remained etched in the colonial consciousness. It was a loud, defiant message that black freedom was not a favor to be granted. It was a right to be seized. And that the spirit of Jimmy, okay? Jimmy with an E, and his men lived on, not only in the future revolts, but in the legacy of resistance that still courses through the struggle for liberation right now. You understand? Now, what about Gabriel Prosser's rebellion in 1800? Right, let me tell you a story. One of these, this is another one of these stories buried beneath centuries of silence, a story that they don't include in the textbooks. They barely whisper about it. Shout out to Rico the Great.
Yeah, let's give us these gems. Let's get these gems.
Shouted. It's the tale of enslaved black men in Virginia who dare to dream, not just for freedom, but for power. A man envisioned a nation within a nation. You understand me? Gabriel Prosser, he envisioned a black nation within a nation. They don't have to give it. We're going to take it. I want you to think about this. The gall of this man, right? It's 1800, the summer of 1800. This is height of slavery. Slavery been going on for centuries. He said, you know what? Hot summer night in Virginia. See, he wasn't just any slave man. He was 24-year-old blacksmith. He was intelligent. He was literate. And he was a tall man, tall, handsome man. You know, blacksmiths, they work with the metal and iron and whatnot. And he had vision. He was owned by a man named Thomas Prosser. And Gabriel spent his days forging iron and sharpening tools, but his mind, he was hammering out a revolution. He had read about Haiti. He had heard about France. He had studied the American Revolution. And in every tale of tyranny falling, he saw a blueprint, his plan. It was nothing short of revolutionary. He would lead over 1,000 armed black men, free and enslaved men, into Richmond, Virginia, seize control of the city, and take the governor, James Monroe, hostage and demand the abolition of slavery. But see, Gabriel didn't just want freedom. He wanted a new black republic right there in the belly of the South. He even forged swords and spears in secret, preparing for a war while pretending to labor. And so on August 30th, 1800, that was the day it was supposed to happen. Gabriel's army was mobilized, and the weapons were ready, and the city was in reach. But then the skies opened. You had a massive thunderstorm. It sounds like it's hurricane season, right? And the storm rolled through Richmond. It flooded all the roads. It washed out the bridges. and Gabriel men, they couldn't cross. And so the uprising stalled, and that delay proved to be fatal because while the storm raged, so did the fear and the betrayal. Okay, because what happened was two snitches, two nocturnal animals that forage and eat garbage at night, right? They went and got scared, and they went and told that white overseer. And in the panic, the Virginia militia sprang to action. They raided the plantations. They rounded up the suspects. They hunted Gabriel like he was a ghost. And for weeks, he vanished. He just disappeared. He slipped through the cracks of every system they saw. But by September 24th, 1800, about a month or so later, they captured him in Norfolk. Somebody told on him.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D.
Brought to you by Rogue.
Hold up.
It was down in South Carolina.
Something I was looking for.
Okay. And at this point, it was 20 black people, 20 Africans, 20 black people believed to have been from the Kingdom of the Congo in West Central Africa. They didn't volunteer to come here. These rallying and they start marching towards a Spanish Florida, right? Here we go, Florida again, where the Spanish crown had promised freedom to the enslaved Africans who reached their territory and converted to Catholicism. See, the Spanish were not only interested in moral claims of liberty, they sought to determine undermine the British colonies by draining them of their labor force. See,
Yeah, the thing is, right, you have damn near two handful of Africans that was over here, right, that basically put their foothold and sprung up in a nation here in America, right? But at the same time, my people was here already, right? We were here already, right? This is not to be debated. I don't see white people going on a media tour claiming that the Black Americans or the FBAs should get out of here, should get out of town. We don't hear. In fact, you're hearing a reversal. You're hearing FBA is saying that white people need to go. That's what you're hearing, right? And everybody else who's really not of this land. You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of the hate and vitriol for the FBA nation is just totally not warranted. But again, we don't wish war. We don't wish to war with anybody or any ethnicity because we are loving, peaceful people. However, when it's war, we know how to take care of business. And I remember reading in the books about the Indians, and we don't play games. We never did, and it's pretty clear and vivid. We are still here after all that we have been through, after all that we have read, 1800, 1600, 15, 1300s, right? Out of all that we have been through, my nation, we are still here, thriving, loving one another's style. CIA went to work on our nation. We still show Black love to one another. We still love one another, no matter what. I love you all, and I thank you all for coming out, chatting. Appreciate you. Till the next stream, I love you all except for the ones I don't. Peace.